Hey there, team. So, a quick little look just here. This is a faction that I do know a fair bit better than most of the others. This is a Tol-in-Gaurhoth versus Faenor fight, I believe. This is not going to be sliding in. This is after the official Silm study sessions are done, so this one will just get slotted in wherever it may be. But I'll still treat the start of it in the same sort of way, because I've not gone through Tol-in-Gaurhoth yet. We've got the Howlers, of course. They are still locked morale, and they're relentless too. That's very interesting. These guys as well. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So they're both very, very like low damage, low sort of ability. So they have War Cry though. That's quite interesting. So it'd be cool to see. As I say, they're always fun in like a siege. You can take quite a few of them, right? Yeah, you can take 4 of them before you get your red limit. So yeah, it's a great just unit to tar pit the enemy down. And if that War Cry actually increases their melee ability, if you remember to use that, you can do some decent work with these guys, especially because the amount of them. The Scarahide Pit Fighters are really cool. I like that vibe a lot. The Ash Priests, of course, being the spewing fire menace. Quite a lot of them in that unit, really. And 3 hit points. Wow. Okay. Cool. Hishperkra's Warband, of course, very low in terms of attack. I would always give them a melee upgrade, I think. But they're not there for that really. They're obviously there just to hold back cavalry and so on. But with that low attack value, even with the buff against Cav, I'd be tempted to maybe charge those guys. If I had a nice unit of like armored Cav, I'd get in and out quick. You know, I definitely would go for it. But of course, you got the Chixiara, better off these Scarahide Longfangs, Blood Drinkers there with that big old axe. The Wolfguard, of course, much more. I mean, that's a heavy armor value. That's 10 armor. You can give it an armor upgrade too. Yeah, so they have some staying power. Some hunters too. Just good archers. Archers are always good. Trappers there. I believe they're javelins. Yeah, more javs. But of course, the glory of Tol-in-Gaurhoth is their wargs. They're very much a mounted power faction. You can see you can definitely take a good melee force. One of the earliest games I've got in my Silmarilion folder is me playing as the Dominion, launching a siege attack. So you're gonna have a good grind with your infantry, but the wargs are where it's at. So it'll be quite cool to see what they've got. I'll try and remember, you know, really what the various types of the wargs do, but it's going to be a bit tricky. They do have these pyre wolves. That's very brutal. Well, flamethrower mounted boys. Effective against armor. Really looking for like anti-cavalry bonus. So again, these guys don't have an anti-cavalry bonus. They scare horses, but they don't have an anti-cavalry bonus. Again, neither did they. No, neither did they. So it seems to be a lot about like causing this fear. But that doesn't mean that they're actually going to be, you know, really cutting these guys down. Of course, you can take Sauron if you want. Absolute behemoth of a man that he is. Yes, he has a missile attack now. Very interesting. Okay, he didn't used to have that, I don't believe. Then some more of these Hishperkraz boys, and you get some very cheap ones, of course. Some very numerous wargs, and the Mangonel. Of course, we've got the Iron Shod boys coming in to show us how to use that artillery piece. But I'd say we're up against Faenor, so that'll be a nice. It'd be cool if we get some Cav clashing going on here, because of course Faenor has a lot of that too. But yeah, so we'll jump into that. So, that's a new. Yeah, I've not seen that banner. Gosh, that's quite intimidating, isn't it? Of course, we are the island of werewolves or something. So that makes a bit of sense. Goodness me, that captain looks quite daunting too, doesn't he? We are just in a little 1v1, as I say. I like little houses, vibing. Yeah, quite a tough route up. Wouldn't have been easy to build that, but it's nice up there. And let's see, up against Faenor. So we'll see what our man Panthan has brought today. So he's got his Hishperkraz Hunters there, the only archer or the only dismounted archer that the Dominion gets access to. So we've got the detachment of them, the full unit, some Scarahide Trappers too. We'll be organising up front, it looks like. Chixiara Chosen there, that must be them with an armour upgrade. God, they look very scary with that, don't they? And that will be them actually really quite well armoured too, with that spear, which, yeah, so well, he needs it for up against Faenor to hold the line, and to hunt down that cav. So that's very cool with that armour upgrade. They really changed their style from the sort of rusted up, sort of really gritty aesthetic to this very vibrant, you know, blood-soaked style is quite cool, quite intimidating. The Howlers in the back there, of course. I'd be very upset if we didn't get to see some Howlers today. Just those wee fanatic boys. The Luxcara Gulkalab. I'll probably say Gulkalab for these guys, because the Luxcara is the general like term for lots of units, I believe. So Gulkalab there. I say I'm not certain. I probably should have taken a bit more seriously when I was looking at those unit types. But it looks like they're sort of going to be able to go toe to toe with some cavalry pretty nicely. We do have some Ash Priests in the back there, so we'll be able to spray out some fire. And of course, those Ash Priests are absolutely brutal in melee as well. So just good to have. Scarahai Long Fangs are just sort of making up the bulk of the line there. Just a little axe and board. Hunters, as I say. He's actually going for the Chosen up front, in front of his archers, just to block that. Again, Panthan doing his sort of split style. I like that a lot. Or actually, no, this is where all the Cavs going. So he's got his Gulkalab, and the Vorbak Gajutar. So yeah, these guys definitely, again, looking a bit more menacing. Smaller unit there. He has gone for Sauron today. Very good. Yeah, so we do have Sauron. He is, of course, the style that we know of Sauron in like the Second and Third Age. He is, which I think I definitely like. I like that Sauron, he doesn't just look like what we know Sauron to be. He's still got sort of a similar daunting demeanor to him. Still got a hammer, which I like, instead of, not a big mace, but still it's like this blunt weapon. And yeah, very, very daunting looking fellow. And he does seem to have a sword in its sheath next to him. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous model. I remember when we were first seeing pictures of this model, there was a bit of disagreement. I think a lot of people wanted to see the Sauron that we all know and love, but I'm glad that we've gone for this vibe, really sort of separating Sauron away from what he becomes in the Third Age. Right now, he is still very much just a chief lieutenant of the Great Melkor at this time in the lore. So Faenor clumped up together off here. Alexius is playing as him today. We have the humans in the form of the shield bearers of Helivorn. 3 of them. Behind them, the Otor and Maitimo. That's where we've got the general in with today. Behind them, the stalkers of Thargelion. The archers of Himring. One with an armor upgrade, one without. I don't know if I would have given my archers an armor upgrade up against the boys they're facing today, but we'll see. Triple Rangers, Defenders of Aglon, the Accursed of Alcalonde. The Requeni, of course, going to be able to smack down those wargs quite nicely, along with the mounted company of Himring as well. So it's going to be, and yeah, we saw how sturdy these guys can be, goodness me. And those javelins, of course, retarding any javelins they're receiving. And there's 2 more mounted company of Himring as well. These are sort of the detachment version, and then this is the 2 full units of them. So that's a lot of cav on display from both sides. So I will have to probably slow down a little bit here and there. We're at 12,000 frames, so it's not too short. This map, I like this map a lot. You've got like a lot of things in the way. Usually Panthan is the one. Oh, we didn't actually see these Wolfborn. Yeah, we've got some of these Frank Sheep, Wolfborn as well are on the field. So yeah, there's lots to like sort of move around. There's a lot of little bumps in the terrain. There's trees, but they're quite spaced around, so you can sort of hide some units. I love that. Why is there a boat here? Is this like a? It makes sense if this was a riverbed at some point. Right? Well, not a river, a lake bed maybe. With these used to be little islands, and that maybe that sort of makes sense. This would have been a bit easier. Maybe they sailed stuff up to it to build that fort there, and then it's dried out. That's very cool. Sorry, I should focus on the battle though. So the mounted company of Hemmering coming forward, and yeah, so I'll try and get this will. I won't be calling this Silm study session. I'll just call this a normal battle. I'll see when this ends up getting slotted in. But I will be quite interested to see how this cavalry perform, of course, as is still the case. So this one might be coming out in like February or something like that, this battle, or it might be coming out pretty late on. But at the time of recording, I'm still very much, trying to sort of learn Silmarillion as sort of quickly as possible. Sort of learn all these various units and so on, their capabilities. So I'll be focusing on that a fair bit, but we will be focusing on the battle itself a lot more than we normally would in your standard Silm fight or the Silm study session fights. I like this little on the mini map. I like the look of that castle up there. So we do have hunters. I'd be interested to see if the hunters are going in. They're firing into the mounted company. Now, it's good, and I would be doing the same. But we saw how bloody much damage those mounted company can take. Goodness me, like the lucky thing right now that the Dominion has is that they're hitting their right side. So they're avoiding those, goodness me, we're getting some good shots on them there. As I say, we're avoiding those shields, but they are just shrugging off that damage really, really quite well. Yeah, they're as I say, some very, very tough unit calf. So we've folded around, no longer going to be a north versus south, this is east versus west at this point for this fight. Leading the way, these shield bearers there. Not going to be able to sort of slice and dice their way through the hordes of Tol-in-Gaurhoth as well as, say, the Elven forces are, but with the Otorn mixed in amongst them, they'll do pretty well. They'll keep the enemy back and allow the elves time to sort of do what needs to be done. And to be honest, they've got a lot of their stalkers and rangers, so this is a very human force here. As I say, Faenor's got a lot of choice when it comes to humans. You can really make your army almost entirely human, with the exception of, say, bodyguard and of course cavalry. But just recently, yesterday even, last night I played in a quick little siege battle. And we were using the campaign units for various factions. So it was quite cool to sort of get my hands on Faenor's campaign units. And there is a human cavalry unit. I think it's the Huskarls of Hellevorn or something like that. And yeah, so it was quite nice. I was focused on just making my army entirely elven in that fight. So that was an interesting little challenge. But yeah, so we're moving around. I will end up posting that out at some point. It will probably come out after this video comes out though. Mounted Company of Hemmering getting really far off on the flank. Panthan letting his spears get a little bit spread out, which is going to be a bit of a problem here. Especially with the shield bearers coming in. Going to be able to get some good, like, 3-4v1 fights squished up together in that shield wall formation with Alexius. Yeah, just the the total opposite of what those spread out spears have. That's a good move by Panthan, pulling the spearmen back so that they're able to respond to cavalry plays and moving the Scarahai Longfangs into position. That's really nice. Now they will get ripped to pieces, even by the shield bearers would do not too bad up against them. Howlers mixed in amongst that too now. Oh, sorry, that was Howlers. The Longfangs aren't in play yet. But the Otorn there will very comfortably rattle these guys down. And as I say, the shield bearers should do some good work too. But it's good to keep that the spears in play to beat down any cav that might come at us. These Howlers have gone all the way around the flank there. Very nice quick movement from Panthan. And yeah, the Chakskara's Chosen have actually been sent in, so with those armor upgrades, even this normally would be a fight that the shield bearers would really struggle with. But with that armor upgrade, those shield bearers are going to be a little bit outmatched. So they are probably going to go down pretty quick. Getting backed up by some stalkers of Thargelion. Having used up their javelins, they're getting chucked on into the fight. But this is really a dicey flank now for the humans and elves of Faenor. But for the time being, it's just allowing Alexius time to pour javelins and arrows into the Tol-in-Gaurhoth forces, make their advance as bloody as he can. Yeah, Wolfborn there still kicking about. We got some engagements here. Yeah. This is still just the Howlers. Kind of getting rattled down, but I mean, at least they will fight to the very last man with that locked morale. Stalkers of Thargelion. Looks like they're out of ammunition over here as well. Stalkers of Thargelion out of ammunition. How much damage are we generating? Like, that's a lot of casualties from all the javelins, but those Scar-Eye Longfangs are still throwing their axes. Trappers look like they're done. So okay, there's been a lot more javelin fire back and forth than we've witnessed. Yes, a lot of like very small, small amount of ammunition. This is something I do struggle with when it comes to Silmarillion. Like, I see a javelin and I think, okay, great, that's going to do a lot of damage, it's armor piercing, it's this, it's that. But there's very different types of javelins in Silmarillion. You've got to be aware of what you've got going on. You know, and it's like, is this the type of javelin that's going to do damage very quickly? Or is this the one that's going to, like, they've got a lot of ammunition, but they do damage slower? You know, it's interesting. It's something that you need to be thinking about, you need to be ready for. So those poor wargs got rinsed there. But it's kind of what would be expected when you're up against the Requeni. Yeah, the Requeni are always going to rattle you down. Of course, this is happening again. We're at 0.6 speed, so you've got to remember, you know, we've got a lot of time to look at this, we've got a lot of time to react. Those shield bearers breaking there, that's a damn shame. That was still quite a lot of them. Shield bearers are not a cheap unit. They're cheap compared to most of Faenor's forces, but they're still not horrendously cheap. They're quite a decent quality guy. So losing them like that is a damn shame. We really see on this left side, Alexius has got some difficulties. No, right, okay, there are still stalkers in that fight. There are more stalkers in that fight than I thought, but still, it's a bit nasty. Those, the warband there, we saw just how much of a struggle these guys are going to have, especially up against something like the Defenders of Aglon. They are going to get rinsed down. Just about every swing is probably going to slay one of those warband. Archers of Himring moving forward, out of ammunition now. Both of them. No, they've got their bows in their hands. They actually have their bows in their hands too. Sorry, no, they still have their stuff. Rangers of Hellevorn jumping up. Requeni getting pulled back. And you're seeing, the big wave of shield bearers now connecting to the Tol-in-Gaurhoth line. And this is where I'm a little bit scared for Panthan. I do worry that maybe his forces are a little bit too spread out. He's claimed a bit too much territory. And although Alexios may be struggling in certain places, he's going to be able to consolidate his forces and really punch through in others and get very good cost-effective damage done. But when both forces have such a big investment in cavalry, we can see some massive changes very, very quickly. And I've not even seen those Ash Priests yet. Don't quite know where they might be. Let's see. Do we have a little star symbol? No. Oh, no, the Ash Priests are still being kept safe. They're back here. They are firing. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, wait a second. Oh, shoot. Okay, so they... Interesting. Okay, the Ash Priests are different than I remember them then. They're throwing these... that's kind of cool. It's like this ashy... So you could probably assume that is like this scalding hot ash. Basically, yeah, they're throwing these grenades into the Rangers there. And it is doing a lot of damage. Now, you're probably seeing, a lot of, like, there's a lot of guys that are individually dying, but there's probably a lot of them that are just taking a heck of a lot of hits, and that's hitting the right side as well, so any sort of shield assistance is going to be getting rinsed down. So, okay, cool. I didn't realize, so they used to throw like a ball of fire, I believe. It was straight up like Witcher type vibe, or closer, it would be more like the iron, what are the flamethrowers for Angband? No, I can't quite remember. But yeah, more like that. But no, though, they seem to throw these explosive sort of grenades now. That's quite cool. Over here, again, Faenor kind of showing their cav superiority. Perhaps the fear effect that these wolves cause will be much more effective against a lower tier cavalry force, but because Faenor is just that step above, those boys are built different. They are able to deal with those little wolves easy peasy. The Rangers, I thought that guy pulled out. I thought I saw him holding a big big longsword on his shoulder there, but no, it was just his positioning with the javelin. So there was a great push up here, which I was liking, but it seems that Panthan has been able to surround it. Now this is going to still be okay as long as these shield bearers can gather round and sort of set up nicely, and not rout. I mean, they need to fight to the end. Oh shoot, Sauron, of course. Both. Let's try and watch Sauron involved in this fight a little bit. Yeah, so you see he has that same attack animation as the grandfather, which I think is a good vibe. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, okay, that's a hell of a lot of devastation, isn't it? Yeah, we'll grab a shot of that. Just Sauron really blitzing his way through those humans. Now into the Stalkers again. He's going to be a real menace to deal with. Even if we do manage to sort of cleanse through most of the main line, you know, taking him out is going to be tough. Especially if we don't have many javelins or any great monster hunter unit to rattle him down at the end of this. Rangers here pulling it back. It looks like the Faenor forces are consolidating a bit. We've had, yeah, some nasty breaks over there on the side. Yeah, it looks like Alexius is gathering up, trying to hold what he's got, trying to get the boys around Sauron. Where is my man? You'd think it'd be pretty tough. There he is. I was going to say you'd think he's quite tough to lose, but no, he disappears. Okay, there we go. Rangers absolutely unloading there. That was what? There were 2 units there, right? Yeah, there's 2 units there who just basically entire volleyed into the back of Sauron. I don't think that shield counts for anything because he's an elephant, so I don't think elephants benefit from a shield value. So he's taken a lot of javelins there, and the Rangers don't fuck around. That's a decent javelin. There he goes. Oh, fuck. So that is Sauron gone. He's absorbed a lot of hits, but that's an expensive boy. And I'm sure he did a lot of damage elsewhere. It's great. We will be able to see how much damage Sauron has done, but you'll have to keep in mind, you know, even though Sauron, perhaps he's not received massive kills, think about the amount of damage that he absorbed, you know, sacrificially. You know, we always say this about Sauron. He's a good guy. He cares about his troops. You know, he really wants to. He's more than happy to put himself on the line to absorb ammunition for them. That's what Sauron's all about. But yeah, oh dear, all these poor orcs slain. Of course, the giant sort of wolf riders. Not really the. Well, yeah, no. I guess they're wargs in this case. But Tol-in-Gaurhoth, of course, being known for the werewolves, and Sauron himself being known for his love of these werewolves and so on. The wolf guard there as well, receiving that armor upgrade. I believe so. Maybe this is their standard look, and because I've not seen them in a while, so maybe this is just their standard look. But I'm assuming this is their, say, armor upgraded form, and so they are going to be tough even for the likes of Faenor to deal with. And yeah, these humans, as much as I love the shield bearers and the stalkers and the rangers, you know, they're great for the Faenor lines, just because of the money that Panthan's poured onto these elite units. They're a step above. They're really struggling, you know, up against general mainline orcs. Those Hellborn lads, they got you. Thargelian boys, no problem. But yeah, so it's really just going to come down to how much damage can Alexius do with his cavalry and how quickly can he do it. Because he does still have some little holdouts, but they're not going to last too long. Over here, yeah, we've got the Archers of Himring. Howlers coming over to try and stop the cav. Oh dear, yeah, lots of Howlers. As they screaming away there. Going to be doing a bit of damage there. I wonder, yes, I do wonder how much Panthan's using that Warcry. Warcry is something that I'm seeing pop up quite a bit in Silmarillion Total War, and I like it a lot. I think it's really cool, but I always forget to use it. That's my big problem. Like I'm always focused on other things, and you know, I have enough trouble getting all my units into the fight properly, let alone using all of their special abilities. That's why I freaking suck at Warhammer Total War. You know, I've got all of my magical abilities and all my special abilities and so on, and I barely ever use them. I'm trying to treat it like a game of Medieval 2. That's why I tend to do better with, say, factions like, I know that, like, I guess like factions like Bretonnia and the Empire, because you are kind of just relying on your units. You're not sometimes not a bit too, like, you can use magic, of course, but it's not too important. The only magic I'm generally using is my healing magic and the occasional, like, explosive spell. That's quite easy for my brain to get around. But when we start looking into all the buffs and debuffs and this and that, I'm like, nah, mate, sorry, I've got too much on my mind. Can't do it. I'm trying to pull off cavalry charges. But yeah, so arguably the dwarves really should be my thing then, because of course their absolute inability for magic, but they still get their little ability checks and so on too. Over here, archers actually still grinding away, so Faenor's still kicking about. Ash priests getting involved in melee, and we saw those ash priests do have a great great melee value. They are very powerful. They're very spooky. But you can be as good as you want if you're going to get charged down. I know there are plenty who don't have a great charge value, but they're still cav at the end of the day. Ooh. Okay, no, they're slipping through them. They're getting caught, getting a few swings on them. Let's zoom in for a minute, try and sort of see how these clashes are really going. Archers are hammering. Okay, I was talking a bit of crap about that armor upgrade that he was giving him. I didn't think it was a good idea, but I think it is sort of working out for him a little bit here. More cavalry still active. Still more cav, and there's not any wargs anymore to shut these cav down. So this is going to be a bit messy. Little charging back there. 89 before contact. What do we end up with? About 70. Oh dear. All the way down to about 72, 71 even. The Wolf Guard's still kicking about as well. Gonna try and grab some of them. Rangers here doing quite well. Again, I was talking some shit about those shooting, but well, they're going up against the trappers. This is perfect for them. They love that. You know, not the Chakskara, but yeah, the Skara High, no problem. And yeah, that morale is going to be a bit of an issue. Definitely, if we end up losing the general of the Tol-in-Gaurhoth forces, that's going to be really, really messy for him. So what Panthan needs to do here is consolidate together, to make sure that cav doesn't really, it can't be as effective, that's what he's doing. He's not spread himself out too far now. He is trying to sort of gather up, and he's going to just try to whittle down that cav bit by bit. Howler's there, just there to absorb a charge, really. Ugh. Oh, there are still 75 chosen, though. Are we going to take one of these horsemen out? Those Howlers sacrificed for this, boys. You got to take a horse out. Nah, I don't think they're gonna. Those horses are gonna get away. Very well done. Okay. I thought that Tol-in-Gaurhoth had this in the bag for a while, but I'm really not sure anymore. Wolfguard pursuing them away. It's just going to be one unlucky moment for the cavalry, where they just get thrown into something and get stuck. But again, that's a lot of rangers here. It's a lot of rangers that can just grind. The announcer's still very happy, but I'm not sure. Shield bearers coming back from rout. Do not rout off again, guys. Those archers are not long for this world. Are the Wolfguard? I think the Wolfguard are blooming. Are they elite units? I think the Wolfguard are the same as like the the Chakskara Wolfguard are just like they're those mace guys in comparison to the Chosen. They're not 2 hit points or anything silly like that. Yeah, because that would maybe change my mindset on it, but no. I think this is going to end up breaking, and once they break, the shield bearers are going to go. So if right now the shield bearers just try to fight it out, if they can kill maybe 10 guys from the Chosen, I don't know if they will, but that's kind of what they need to do, I feel. Another cavalryman down. Rangers freed up. Rangers need to get their butts over here. Get some kills in. Try and support this line before the last archers get busted. Support their fellow humans. Okay, the humans haven't actually lost a man since we last looked at them. Ah, no, you scoundrels. That's them breaking just there. We really needed them to stick around. So, right, what do we have? Still got javelins. Okay, Ash Priests are going to take a beating from that. Do you guys still have some? No. But that's interesting. Okay, he actually saved a javelin or two. Oh, dear me, Panthan will be frustrated by that. Because those Ash Priests are really something he needs to do some work here. It's a lot of Chosen. And Wolfguard still, I don't know. Does Faenor have anything left, or is this it? If we can rely, don't you be shaken. You assholes are shaken. If we can rely on every single one of those humans fighting to the end here, I think it's in the bag for Faenor. But the problem is that's not what we're going to get. We're going to get these guys routing. You're shaking already. Javelins. See, I wouldn't have sent them into melee. I don't think you needed to do that. Is that them out now? Because I think we need to go into melee together. We need these two units back to back. Not back to back, but like side to side, so that they're back each other up in terms of morale. What's this? These boys are back. Okay, good. They have returned for the second time. I thought they might, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Rangers here trying their best. They're not going to inflict many casualties here. Okay, that's what we were needing, or that's what Faenor was needing. Problem is this is the I was going to say this is the Chaxiara, but that's the... Okay, that's a break. That's a big break. That's it then. That is it. That is very interesting. The balance of power like shifted around a lot in that fight. But that was just the cav. Like, well, not just the cav. It was well played by Alexius overall with his infantry, of course. But you know that was a tough situation for Panthan to counter that cavalry there with what he had left. I think for me, I was very surprised to see those Rangers still had another javelin saved up just for those Ash Priests. If they didn't have that, oofed, that would have been messy. But no, that was super close. I really, yeah, that was really good. Kind of tense there for for a little while. But no, those checks. I mean, hey, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. Those Chaxiara are still going to grind away for a bit. But the bloody Requeni, they ain't going down easy. And yet again, humans showing their worth. They're showing their part in the Faenor roster, showing what they can do, and the help that they can provide to these sorts of armies. Really sort of holding out because of those numbers, because of that decent armor, cost-effective armor, and just yeah, letting the cav and letting those elven forces do their bit. Yeah, mate, just get out of there. Don't worry, just run away. Don't run that way. Get that way. Good lads.
And we have failed the Empire.
Oh, we failed the Empire. Is that is this an answer? What, Holy Roman Emperor? An answer? Maybe. So that's very interesting. Let's see those Ash Priests. 116. Sauron, right, yeah, again, a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, oh, Sauron was maybe a waste of money. I don't think so. I mean, Sauron absorbed, what, like, at least 4 full volleys of javelins. And that's only what we saw. He probably received more. And I think, yeah, I mean, the amount of kills then on top of that, I think he was an interesting take. But I don't think he was a bad take here. These poor hunters did not... Oh, they must have gotten blasted to pieces by either enemy arrow fire or likely a cavalry unit got mixed in amongst them and started lashing them down. Yeah, Wolfguard there, doing some good work. Is very, very much a good unit to have. The Howlers are now... 73 is actually quite impressive for those Howlers. Ah, okay, cool. So he's actually given the Howlers an experience upgrade. So you can see they lost that experience upgrade during the fight. So I'd be interested to see what the money was for this fight, if he had that sort of money to play around with. I know that generally the Dominion Tol-in-Gaurhoth units are quite cheap, but okay, cool. And then the Warband, of course, 5. And you see, if I was going to give anybody a level of experience, I would have given it to the Warband, because that would lift up their melee by 1, where so it would take them up from say 1 to 2. Then if you give them a melee upgrade, they're suddenly 3 melee, which in comparison to 1 melee, I know they're still not going to do much, but it's a dramatic increase. That's what I usually like to do with my upgrades. I tend to very rarely upgrade units that are already very, very good. Or quite good. Cool. So yeah, that was actually a really fun one. That was super duper. I love that map. That map is super. Cool. Anyway, thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.